Cowboy Jim, what an honor for me to sit here. It truly is. I just so appreciate this, and I appreciate your time. So I've been trying to keep my videos not too long, something less than 20 minutes. But I want you to know, I truly want you to know that I appreciate you taking the time out of your day and you watching my videos. It is my most sincere hope and prayer that you will glean a little bit of good that might just uplift you a little and give you hope. That's 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 my goal. Anyways, as I said in the last video, I think it's been 12 days since I had to head south and taking care of some lawyer work and my lawyer down in Olds, his name is Brent Carlisle. I'm telling you, if you need a lawyer, I strongly recommend that group of lawyers who work under Brent Carlisle's direction. I I truly do. I I appreciate having the privilege of doing business with him. You know, this last while, not having my laptop up and running, and I get bored. Like when I go to work, I go to work to work. People don't understand that, but I mean, I need activity, and mm, the more activity, the better. That's just my way. I'm I'm addicted, I guess, to current events. That's what we used to call the news. And but nowadays you have to glean from that news what really is going on. I suppose you don't have to do anything, but I would rather know than to wonder. I would. I mean, when COVID was going on, they said the scientists say, and there were two distinct scientific groups. And I remember back in the early 80s when the scientists, uh, that vaunted group of people who like to hear their own voices, which incidentally could be a problem that I have, um, said we were about to enter a new ice age. And they were so concerned about it because, oh, things were getting cold. And, well, didn't that give the politicians a lot to talk about? Incidentally, they need a lot to talk about because what they talk about is vaporous, it's air. It's stupid half the time. And recently I was watching the Supreme Court down in the States, and some person who probably is a liberal leaked a letter that indicated the Supreme Court was going to give the right to decide about abortion to each individual state. Well, they were going to allow the states in question to decide through vote or through whatever that the people themselves would decide the legality of aborting a baby. And in the Old Testament, there was a time when I think the name was Maloch. Um, but people back then took their newborn babies and threw them in a fire, burnt them to death in order to honor some supposed god, an apparition of their imagination, which incidentally, a lot of people say that the Creator is an apparition of the believer's imagination, and that's okay. I, I, I have good friends who are atheists, and I won't pick on them. And they don't pick on me either, because my opinions are diverse from theirs. And, I guarantee you theirs are adverse to mine. But if you can't listen to how another thinks and judge them through eyes that are yours and that are respectful, well, then you're pretty insecure in your belief system. Anyways, the furor that came up in the States as a result of the Supreme Court's decision to allow democracy to reign, to allow the people in the United States of America, in the states, what are there, 50, 49, 50, whatever, I think it's 50, um, decide what they, in that particular area of the country, wanted to do with abortion. And the next thing you hear are the people who have one rule in mind, and that is do not let a good tragedy go to waste. Make sure that your cause is furthered in spite of the cost to everyone around you. Now that's called the Democratic Party in the States, and it could well be called the Liberal Party in Canada. They both have the same basic attitude. But that is so anti-truth, so anti-right. I have my own personal beliefs about abortion. They're mine, and I'll keep them to myself. And your belief system, to do with that, they're yours. And you can do with them whatever you want. I know what I know. And I am not so insecure that I have to go about trying to change you, to conform you to my way of thinking in order to validate my way of thinking. In California, apparently you can abort a child, kill a child, upwards of 2 weeks after its birth. Now, that may well be true. That may well not be true. I I have some strong opinions about that. They're mine. I don't need to abuse you with my opinions about, oh, some people would say a secondary issue. I think it's a pretty big issue, but I still don't need to abuse you about it. You'll make up your own mind. Uh, Justin Bieber, his mom was 17 years old and she became pregnant, and she had drug addiction and a bunch of stuff like that. And she decided no matter what that she was going to keep the baby, Justin Bieber, and that she would dedicate her life to raising that baby. And she did. And I, I don't listen to Justin Bieber's music that much. That doesn't mean anything other than I, I listen to country. But that lady made a choice, and her choice was to give her child, her son, she didn't know it was a son, I guess, at the time, but to give that child a chance at life. Given the number of people around the world who would love to adopt, um, it complicates your decision making, but it's your decision making. I listened to Camilla Harris down there in the States. She's the vice president, about as shallow as a puddle after a rain that's about half-inch deep. And Joe Biden, and oh, someone should turn that boy out to pasture. We're in probably the world's worst political situation with Ukraine and Putin, Xi Jinping, or whatever his name is, Communist Chinese Party, Justin Trudeau. You have no idea the trouble we're in. Joe Biden down in the States, the Iranian government. We are in trouble because we did not have a good defense. A good defense is a capable offense. I don't mean to be offensive here, but if you're a pussy, people are going to walk all over you. If you can validate strength, people won't mess with you. They didn't mess with Donald Trump. And, but Joe Biden down there lying, it's like a politician just has to, are compelled just to lie. And they do. And the people are protesting in the States because they say government should not be allowed to tell you what to do with your own body. Well, where the hell does COVID come into that scenario? Government's been telling us everything that we should do about that based on the science. But there are two groups in the science world. One is totally opposite to the other, and yet you can't even express an opinion one way or the other, or you get your ass kicked right off YouTube. I really think Elon Musk may revolutionize the whole systematic approach to free speech. And that scares the liberals. That scares the Democrats down in the States. They're liberal. Because they have controlled the news. And everything that was anti-Democrat was called misinformation. And you're seeing it again. And it is pathetic. It truly is pathetic. There are things that only you can choose to believe. God gives you freedom of choice. He gives you freedom that is extended way beyond our techno skills at choosing. But they're ours. He gave them, and we walk in it. And we walk in what we call freedom. But it's going away. there may be a little note on my video. This is a conspiracy theory. Well, it's not. It's common sense. Anytime you go against the flow, you're considered a nutter. That's what Irish people call people who are not quite right in the head. Uh, but I guess we Irish, well, perhaps we're all a little bit nutter-like. But anyways, I don't care. I care about waking up in the morning, thanking God for the day, pouring myself a very strong cup of black coffee, and sitting out back watching the sun come up and having a smoke. And it's my choice. My doctor, he said, we can keep fixing you up, but he says it'd be easier to fix you if you'd quit smoking. I said, well, I've had 15 surgeries so far that necessitated anesthesia. And I mean, I live life to the full, and I live it with my whole heart. And I make the choices that I make for me, premised on what I believe is right for me at the moment. May not be right for me every time, because my decision making is, well, it comes from the heart. And I get her done in a hurry, but I get it done. Thank God we still have some choices left that haven't been eroded. But when you listen to a politician, at the beginning of every politician's occasion to speak, there should be a warning. This may or may not be true, and most likely won't be, unless maybe it's Donald Trump and some other good politicians. They're few and far between, because it's not whether you vote liberal or whether you vote conservative. It's what you are, what your character is, your integrity. Do you know what integrity is? Do you care? I care. I care because I learned the last 12 days of not making videos that people still watch, and I'm up at 4,859 views, and I guess my problem has been I do too many videos. One friend, he was a friend at the time, he said, just do one video a week. It'll give people plenty of time to watch. And I thought, that's stupid. Well, I think it is. And so I've been doing 10 to 20 videos a week. And I'll probably continue doing that. I showed encouragement to you. I thank you for allowing me the privilege and the honor of sitting in front of you here. And I say a very simple thing. I say, God bless you. You may not believe the same thing that I do, but that's a good thing, because choices in your life, they're for you to make. They're not for me to tell you how to make them. And I try not to tell you. And if you think I'm telling you, you just write a little note and you just tell me to screw off. You won't offend me. Geez, I've been married 3 times. Okay? So God bless you. And 20 minutes. Boy, Time flies when you're having fun. I'm having fun. Thank you.